Hello, Dragon Brawlers. Welcome to London Players Guild. I am your guild master, Scott Sedman, and today I am joined by Peter.
By me.
Yeah,
My name is Peter.
That is your name. Today we're doing
Hello.
green cards, graded for Dragon Ball Super Card Game. Peter, what is graded? Let the folks at home know.
So graded is when I'm pulled away from Cyberpunk or World of Warcraft, and Scott makes me look at the cards and decide if they're playable.
Yeah, I get this. Yeah.
We look at them based on our own preconceived idea about this game. It's all very not objective, subjective. That's the word.
Yeah, that is the word you're looking for. That's good.
Yeah.
You're on track. I like this.
So it's very subjective. We graded between F and S on how we like it, how well it does what it's supposed to do, how on theme it is. So does it feel like, for example, a Goku thing to do? Which we actually didn't have yet, a proper Goku thing to do, which would be like, give your opponents power.
Here, I'll just give you the antidote, and then you can beat me up some more. I've just prolonged the chapter for like 3 chapters. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's all good.
It's Goku's and Vegeta's thing, because Vegeta also helped Boo, for example.
He also helped Cell, yeah. You
Yeah,
know what?
exactly.
Our heroes are not heroes. They're assholes. They're assholes. So today we have green, which is Lord Slug and Turles.
That's the last colour of the set.
Yeah, and we'll have one more graded after this, which takes into account the secret rares, the promos,
Box toppers,
and just the entire set, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be...
It's going to be like a roundup. How well all those promos fit in. That's going to be associated tournament promos, etc.
That's going to be
everything associated with this product.
That's going to be a really interesting thumbnail I have to come up with for it.
Yep.
So yeah, without further ado, Peter, let's start off with Lord Slug.
So Lord Slug is the very first leader that works with Rejuvenate, and I do hope we're going to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So Lord Slug is a green Namekian Slug's army with 10,000 power. Auto, when this card attacks, you and your opponent draw 1 card. Issue with this auto automatically, all of the cards for Lord Slug say that if your opponent drew a card with this, they need to put a card to the bottom of the deck at the end of a turn.
Yeah. But this
one doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess it's on the leader, but still, it just feels
weird,
like you don't want to attack.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not even when it attacks the leader, it's literally when you attack.
It's whenever you attack.
Yeah.
Auto, if you have 3 or more green energy, when you activate a Rejuvenate skill, you draw 2 cards and flip this card over, which is... I can't help but feel that this is a better Awaken than his actual Awaken.
Which we'll get into right now.
Yeah, his Awaken is when your life is 4 or less, you and your opponent may draw 1 card, then you switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a question on wording. Can your opponent decline to draw a card?
No, because the May is not optional.
Yeah, the May is not optional, I agree. But it's you and your opponent to draw a card. If your opponent declines to draw a card, no one draws and you can't Awaken. Technically.
Yeah, but they can't decline it. It's mandatory.
Can they?
No. Cause it's written how you would do with your Awaken, and for the 18th
yeah, but your Awaken
time.
usually doesn't involve your opponent in it.
That's true. No, that's true. But there's no option, I don't think. Like, there's like...
I don't think there is an option either. I think it's like that. But you know there are people who are going to question this.
Well, I mean, people think it's optional to draw anyway. So, like, nothing changes there, Peter. So his Awakened side, he just takes off his robes and gets a little younger. So he's Lord Slug, Rejuvenated Invader, printed 20k power.
First leader of this power.
Yeah, so that's new. If your opponent has 7 or fewer cards in hand, this card gets minus 5k during battles on your opponent's turn. So even in your turn, it can still be 20k. That's kind
on your turn, it's always going to be 20k, which is interesting.
That is cool. I didn't realise that the first time I read this card. I thought it was just if they have 7 or fewer cards, you get minus 5.
So they need to drop their hand size to be able to hit you normally.
That's cool. I think that's kind of cool. And then when this card attacks you and your opponent draw a card, so same thing as the
Yeah.
upside down. I was going to say the upside down side. The front side. The upside down side. Oh, here we go again. Activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their hand, play up to 1 mono green Slug's army card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area. Mono green, why?
I mean, I don't care. It's mono green because
I
majority of the good 2-drop or less are mono green.
Yes, but I'm just like, why the hell was yellow Slug stuff printed then?
I don't know. Everything here checks for your
mono green and
yeah, for your mono green energy.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's weird.
I'm letting that bias go for this. But
there is some things you can do with this leader, and we're going to have a deep dive on this leader because there is a couple of combos that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Here, it's the only thing I'm going to mention is that you can resurrect something for free.
Yeah, which is good. Cool. That's good, right? That's like
your opponent needs to have 10 or more cards in hand, but then you can just play something for free, which can be the 1-drop Slug we're going to see later on, or the old Lord Slug that searches for Lord Slug in your deck.
You can easily fill your opponent's hand to 10 with his deck. So
with all the cards, yes.
Yeah. So then we have Turles. So this one's a mouthful, Peter. So I'm gonna let you take it.
Oh, thank you. Turles is a green Saiyan Turles Crusher Core leader with 10,000 power.
Mm-hmm.
And the permanent, if a Turles Crusher Core card in your battle area would be placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills, it's sent to its owner's warp. Instead, that's anti-successor. That's the problem with successor, that they made a skill so powerful that they need to prove the future. They need to future-proof the cards from now on. Because otherwise, this just drops 2 drops and 3 drops like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like, how do we get around successor?
Technically, it would be possible to drop Cell Xeno turn 1.
Yeah.
There's a 1-drop that combos 5 cards from the top of your deck. If you hit the right cards, you're going to have 12.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it is possible to hit Cell Xeno turn 1 without this. That's the problem. They overpower the multicolors, and we have all the time the problems with that, like with skills like this. Well, ignoring that, the skill needed to be there.
Yeah.
When you place this card in your leader area, place up to 1 Tree of Might from your deck in your opponent's battle area. Important thing, Tree of Might is the very first extra card that's not a field.
Yeah,
that stays in the battle area.
I think this tripped a lot of people up on the first reveals, myself included. Genuinely,
I think everyone just assumed it's in the battle area, so it's a leader.
Field. Yeah, it's a leader. Fuck my wife, Scott. Yeah, it's not a field, which is weird, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
So then
and also, when this card attacks, you can add up to 1 life to your hand, which is fine. You can choose 0.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck and add up to 1 Turles Crusher Core card among them to your hand.
Strong search effect.
It's very similar to Shinrenron.
Yeah.
But helps you self-awaken, unlike Shinrenron.
Yeah. And then 4 or less.
When your life is 4 or less, or your opponent has 3 or more life face up, which we will get to with Tree of Might, you may draw 1 card and untap 1 of your energy, which is
standard.
It's good for this leader, actually.
Yeah. And then Turles Fiendish Force. Peter, take it away.
So the first permanent is exactly the same. If Turles Crusher Core in your battle area would be placed in a drop by your skill, it goes to warp. The second one is one that I want to talk about in deep dive on implications that it has. When this card deals damage, you choose the card your opponent loses from their life.
It's a really cool permanent. I like it a lot.
This permanent skill is of importance the same as the King Piccolo starting at 6 life. This is amazing.
It's a cool pattern.
And also, when this card attacks, you just draw 1 card, so you don't tutor anymore, which is fair enough. And one that can help you go a bit infinite is Activate Main. Choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. Add 1 Fruit of the Tree of Might from your drop area to your hand. As far as I understand, if you have none, you can still pay the cost.
Yeah, right? Maybe?
Yeah, because it's not part of the cost to have it.
Exactly, yeah. It is just put 1 card and you fail to find it, right? Yeah.
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 And if you have 2 of them, you can loop them because you put 1 at the bottom, then your opponent, and then Tree of Might flips a life face up and you add the 1 that you put at the bottom back to your hand.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Then we have our Rejuvenate Unison for green here, King Piccolo Dimensional Conqueror. We've already gone over Rejuvenate a few times now. We won't repeat it here, but we do have a video on Rejuvenate, so go check that out. Activate
And
main.
just going to mention that this one is a 4 marker Rejuvenate.
Yes. So it's 2 specified, cost 15k like the rest. Activate main, pay 1 green. If your leader card is mono green and your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, play this card from your hand with a marker on it. You can't play unison cards for the turn. Pretty good balance. I like it. I think
it's alright, but it requires your opponent to have 7 or more cards in their hand. It's easier early on, but against aggressive decks, I don't think you would ever get that unless you play Lord Slug.
I don't know. I mean, for paying it for 1, that's a pretty good effect, I think. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then activate main +1. Choose 1 card in your hand. Place it under this card. You and your opponent draw 1. Then you choose up to 1 green battle card with an original energy cost of 1 in your hand and play it. That's really important. At the end of your turn, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of the deck, just like we've seen with the most of these effects that you'll see.
Yeah, I think all of these effects that make your opponent draw as well also make them put a card from hand at the bottom of their deck.
At the end of turn, which is really important.
Yeah.
I think Slug on paper looks weird, but I think it's going to be like Dark Broly, where when you play with it, you can probably find some really nasty stuff to do to your opponent.
I think it's more of you give your opponent a false sense of security because they have so many cards. They start using their resources, and then at the end of a turn, you're like, okay, so now you need to put 4 cards from your hand at the bottom of the deck.
And then they're like, oh, I overused it. Oops.
And they have only 4 cards in hand suddenly.
Yeah, so Raditz Invader from afar, Peter.
It's a Raditz card! Shame it's so bad because Dark Broly Unison exists.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that. Because it's a specified cost 3.
Yeah.
And Dark Broly is way better than this, doesn't matter how you slice it.
Yeah, that's true.
So activate main once per turn, you can flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. I would prefer this to be in any life. It would have some merit.
That's true.
+1 skill. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. Whoa, Freezer support. Sorry. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, discards it, and choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gains critical for the turn.
I do like that, though. I do like that.
That's really fun because it says cards. So you can choose your battle card, you can choose your unison card, leader card, your extra card.
Yeah?
Technically.
Sure, I'll give Trio my critical for the turn. Alright. Yeah, we're going there.
And -5, activate main again. Your opponent discards 3 cards from hand.
That's alright. That's alright.
You're never going to get that -5, but that +1 is going to be fairly oppressive in Turles deck. But I don't think you can drop this unison on 3.
No.
So
no.
You want to +1, give it to your leader, and then attack with your leader for 35 critical. Double strike.
Yeah. I think that's a really good shout. So then we have Lord Slug, Monstrous Muscle, and it is at this point I should remember that Eggman got to reveal green cards. Please go and check out that video and support Eggman. We love you, Hayden. So Lord Slug, Monstrous Muscle is a 5-drop 4 specified green, deflect, double strike, 30k power. When this card is played, so the deflect, obviously, it's going to get this effect. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, KO them. Then choose one of your opponent's unison cards and remove 2 markers from it. Alright, so it's a board wipe, but doesn't ignore barrier. And it removes 2 markers. It's okay for 5.
There is more to that. It's a 5-drop.
Yeah. There's
no way to cheat him. I think he could go down to 4-drop. But there's no way to cheat him out.
Exactly. And then when your opponent activates counterattack, your opponent chooses 6 cards in their hand, discards the rest, then you and your opponent draw a card. It's okay.
If your opponent plays counterattacks, let's be honest, they usually sit on the 7-8 card mark.
Yeah.
Because that's usually the case. Play against Silk, that's the card total he had.
Yeah.
There is no way that this is going to do anything.
Nah, sadly not.
The issue is that they shoehorned it to work with all of the new Lord Slug stuff, so it puts your opponent at 7 cards in hand, essentially.
Yeah. I don't know.
And this one doesn't discard from your opponent's hand either, but it also forces your opponent to discard if they have a too big hand.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know how Slug players are liking it. For me personally, it's kind of just okay. It's just okay.
Yeah. It's just okay. I agree.
Next one, Peter.
It's Lord Slug, Thwarter of Plans, which is a free drop 15k Lord Slug, which is way better just because of the stat line and the cost. It is specified cost free, so
No,
what's his
cheapy
face?
cheap.
Wings won't reduce it.
Yeah.
It has Deflect and Auto, Bond 2. If your leader card is Slug's Army card, when your opponent uses a card in combo, you may place that card in its owner's drop area. If you do, both players draw one card, then negate the skill for the turn. So here, your opponent first loses the card, then gains a card, which again is balanced, and you gain a card out of that net.
Yeah.
The card is not unique. You can have multiple of those.
I like it. I like this effect.
And you can use multiple of those.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't say on copies of this card for the turn, so it's good. And then his second effect.
When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, if your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, you can play up to 1 green Slug's Army with cost of 1 from your drop area, which is most likely going to be either a 1-drop Lord Slug or Wings, because I can't think of any other 1-drop Slug's Army card that I've played in Slug.
I mean, it's a cool card. I don't know how much playability it's going to see, but it's cool. I like it.
The fact you can free play it with the 1-drop we're going to see in a moment makes this card ridiculously playable.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's a cool card there.
And I think it's going to be one of the main threats for the deck.
Worthy of the SR slot, then. We shall say. So then
unlike the 5-drop.
Lord Slug, Conqueror Restored. Is this the 1-drop you were on about?
Yes. So this one is a 1-drop Lord Slug, Namekian Slug's Army, so searchable with Assimilate. 4,000 power, unique. You can have only one of those. If your leader card is Slug's Army, when this card is played, both players draw 1, and your opponent puts 1 at the bottom of the deck at the end of a turn.
Okay.
And then activate main. If your leader is Slug's Army, and your opponent has 7 or more cards in hand, and 1 or more energy, which is important, you can't do it going first. You choose up to 1 mono green Slug's Army card with 19 power or less in your hand and play it.
Okay.
So you can, if you go second, you can just on turn 1 drop the free drop we have just been talking about. You already have Bond fulfilled because you have 2 battle cards on board, and you can't activate the activate main or copies of this card, so you can't combo it off and play another one.
Yeah.
And activate main again. But yeah, you can drop this. The free drop Lord Slug can be dropped on turn 1.
Interesting.
And it suddenly makes it really problematic because you can start stacking them.
I mean, you combine this, so yeah, your turn 1 essentially, you drop this, your turn 2, you drop the Bardock. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
and
cool.
suddenly your opponent doesn't have that many cards in hand.
Then we have Anguilla, Invader of Earth. So it's a free drop 2, specified green. Slug's Army, 19k power, so playable from...
From the 1-drop, yes.
From the 1-drop. 0-5 combo.
The 1-drop is essentially stopping you from playing AoD.
Okay, fair enough. If your leader card is a Slug's Army, and all of your energy is mono green, when this card is played from your hand, activate the skill. At the end of the turn, if you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, and your opponent has 10 or more cards, draw 3. This is very situational at best, right?
I think it can be orchestrated.
Okay.
But it requires you to overcommit. Your opponent do not commit at all.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
I mean, if your opponent's going to be like, okay, so he just made me draw 3 cards, and then I will need to put cards at the bottom of my deck at the end of the turn, so I will just not use those cards, so I have more choice. And then you drop this as the last card, you can still order in what order you resolve at the end of the turn skills. So you can first draw 3, then your opponent
loses cards,
loses cards from hand,
Okay. I mean, it's interesting. Like, this whole deck is interesting. I think it is one of those things that you'll see work out in person more. Especially for me, I
think you will have some Lord Slug funds that will make some of this work, but I think mostly the 1-drop and the 3-drop are going to be incorporated
into the old Slug.
Lord Slug deck.
I think that's the case. So then we have Metamatcher Invader of Earth, a 2-drops 2 specified green, Slug's Army, 10k power, 0-5 combo. Activate main, pay 1 green. If your leader is a Slug's Army card, all of your energy is mono green. Send this card from your drop to your warp, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, play a meta token. Then you and your opponent draw 2 cards. At the end of your turn, your opponent puts 2 cards at the bottom. You can't activate main copies of this turn, and then meta tokens, obviously 5k, no combo cost, 5k combo power.
So this is way better say, an instinct for Slug's army.
Yeah, because you're paying less, and you're
You
getting a
still
body
draw
on board.
2, you can self-awaken, you get 5k combo, and your opponent draws 2, but they also lose 2. It
Yeah.
helps them fix their hand, there is that, but you just drew 2 cards for 1 energy.
Yeah.
And most likely you comboed this off.
Yeah, that's true. Because I agree. I think this is a better Saiyan Instincts for Slug. Yeah.
Shame it's only for Slug, and we have 2 greens.
Is it a
Lord Slug
shame it's
leaders.
only for Slug though? Is it a shame it's only for Slug? Let's be real.
I mean, which Lord Slug you think is going to be seeing more play? The new one or the old one?
Old one. Newsflash, it's the old one. Then we have Wings, Invader of Earth. A very not good comparison to the original Wings. Peter, you can run this one by.
I think the original Wings was also not that good. It was the second Wings that was good.
Was it a second Wings?
Yeah, the 1-drop was the second Wings.
Was it?
The
Oh
original
man,
one.
yes. I really don't remember Slug reveals. It's 3 drop.
Permanent Bond 2. So if you have another battle card beside him, if this card is in rest mode, mono green Slug's army cards in your battle area can be KO'd by your opponent's skills.
Yeah.
So they need to attack into them.
Yeah.
And shame that it only protects the mono green.
Yeah.
That's the shame thing here.
Yeah. I'm not playing it.
I mean, you can free play him with the 1-drop Lord Slug, which is nice.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, about that.
I mean, it protects the Slug, I guess, but
only from KOing. Sending to the drop area works, sending to warp works, reducing power works,
exactly.
attacking works.
I don't know.
And this card needs to be in rest mode.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Xeon. 20k 2 drops. Skillless, it's cool. Oh, I love this card, Kakuja. The 1-drop 10k skillless. It's great. I was memeing about it in the discussion group. I genuinely do actually love this card though. Don't know why. I'm just like, it's my card. It's my skillless card. It's my shoe from set 2, which is up on the wall. That's gonna be my new thing. Especially if we get the case of set 12. It's gonna be like, oh look, I got more of them. Then we have there's actually 2 different characters. Okay, I genuinely thought...
I was like, is it not the same?
One has the little necklace thing. This one doesn't. That's the difference, I guess. Gyushu.
Isn't that because this one has crossed hands?
Actually, yeah, that's a really good point. He could be hiding the medal. So he's the Rejuvenate super combo. We've gone over them in graded.
Yeah.
Peter Turles Cosmic Rogue.
Wait. Is there a mistake on this card?
Where? Oh, it's got 0-5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now I need to check. No, all of them have 10.
All of them have printed 10. That has to be a mistake.
Krillin is 10k. Trunks is 10k.
Yeah, I think this is gonna get an errata.
Shisami has 10k. Why the hell does this one have 5k?
It's going to get an errata.
I know why. No, it needs to have 5k.
Does it?
Because they made it the Bloody Slug's army.
Oh, because it's searchable?
Your leader can resurrect it for free. If your opponent has 10 cards in hand.
I still think it's probably a mistake though, right?
I think it might be on purpose because it can be resurrected in multiple ways.
Well, I guess we'll see, guys. Is it a mistake or is it intentional? Find out on Dragon Ball Super Card Game. So tell us, Cosmic Rogue, Peter.
Yes, Turles Cosmic Rogue is the centerpiece of the strategy for Turles, to be honest.
Yeesh.
4-drop, 15,000, 2 specified green, 0 cost 5k combo, Saiyan Turles Crusher Core. He has unique, deflect, critical. If you have 3 or more Turles Crusher Core in your battle area and have 3 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it's a 2-drop, 15k. But that's not all. During your turn, all Turles Crusher Core cards in your battle area get plus 10,000 power. That includes him, so he's 25k critical. But wait, there is more! When this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it.
Yeah.
This is a monster. It's a 2-drop 25k critical that when it attacks, it kills something.
And it has deflect.
This card is crazy.
I love it. I love it so much.
I think all of the Turles cards have unique though, so
Which, I mean, God, if this didn't have unique, help
all of
us.
them just play very, very easily for
Okay.
one reason or another.
Then we have
The next,
Turles, Crusher Corp Commander!
yeah, a 3 drops, 2 specified green, 15,000 power, 0 cost, 5k combo against Saiyan Turles Crusher Core. Unique deflect. And auto, choose one card in your hand, place it at the bottom of your deck. For example, the fruit that you keep on getting to your hand for free. When this card is played, you draw 2 cards, and this card gets plus 5,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then you flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. But wait, there is more! Activate battle for 1 green if you have 2 Turles Crusher Core in your combo area. You play this card from your hand.
Really like that effect.
So you can play it during your opponent's turn. It gets 5k power, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then, during your turn, it keeps the 5k power.
Yep.
And then during your opponent's next turn, it still has that 5k power.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. You can draw more cards during your opponent's turn. It costs 1, but, I mean...
You draw 2...
Yeah, you discard the card. Sorry, you don't discard. You put the card at the bottom. You draw 2, and you just added this card to your hand for free.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be flipping life face up using other cards beside the Tree of Might, though.
Okay, that's fair.
Because you want to be able to add those fruits to your hand all the time.
Yeah, makes sense. And then we have Turles, Invader of Earth! It's a unique 4K05 combo, 1 drop, 1 specified green. When this card is played, flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. If your leader card is a Turles Crusher Core, and when this card attacks, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Combo with up to 5 Turles Crusher Core cards among them, shuffle your deck. It's great. This card's great. This card's
And
insane.
a lot of the cards for Turles Crusher Core say when they combo from hand or deck, you just play them.
Yeah, this is
the card that I said, if you go second, you can just turn 1, drop, sell.
Yeah, it's nuts. I love this card so much. Again, very, very... Like, they've been pretty good with green. Like, both of the cards that I think should be SRs are given SRs for Turles. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Then we get into the Invaders of Earth. Amond, Invader of Earth. It's a unique. If your leader card is a Turles Crusher Corp, and this card was used in a combo.
They play themselves from combo area.
Yeah. It's a 1 3k combo, though. This is the weird thing. The numbers are weird. They're not just 5ks. Like...
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're comboing them from the deck for free.
They also have 9k power, so without the 4-drop Turles on board, they do nothing.
Yeah, so it's you combo it, you play it, as long as it's from the deck or hand. Activate main, you can warp this guy, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an entry cost of 5 or more. KO it, you can't play copies of the card for the turn. So
it costs 1 green for the effect. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
I think it's mostly you would play it because it's under body. You want to combo with it with the 1 drop because it combos for free.
Yeah. It's you're gonna get some weird numbers with this Turles.
Yes, you will get really weird numbers.
Yeah. And then you got Dies, Invader of Earth. This one, when it's played, look at top 3 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 Turles Crusher Core onto your hand. Shuffle your deck. Just a free searcher.
And this one is a 2-drop, so we're up to 6 at the moment.
Yeah, this is just the 4 or less super combo, right?
Yes, this is a 4 or less super combo.
Really cool artwork on
But it works if you combo with it from your deck.
That's true.
I'm just going to mention this.
Yeah, when it's used. Yeah. Could be worth running.
I mean, it's still a Crusher Core, so definitely worth running.
Yeah, but you want to draw the 1, so like, would you not want to run the draw 2 super combos? I don't know.
It's interesting, right? Because this one is easier to pull.
There's an argument for both, I think.
Yeah.
Razzin, Invader of Earth. You can take this one, Peter.
So this one is one of the 2
it's Razzin.
siblings.
It's Razzin.
I think.
It's not Razzin. It's Razzin. I just realised.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
So it's a 2-drop, 1 specified green, 5k power. Again, 1 cost 3k combo because it plays itself again. It's unique blocker. It plays itself. If your leader card is Turles Crusher Core, when this card is played, play up to 1 green Lacasse with cost of 2 from your deck in rest mode, then shuffle your deck and we don't
Which
have.
the next card is Lacasso.
And so again, unique when you combo with it. It has the same stats as its brother, sister, sibling. If your leader card is Turles, Crusher Core, when this card is played, you play up to 1 green Razzin card with energy cost of 2 from your deck. Then shuffle your deck, draw 1 card, then choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. So it lets you cycle a bit more cards. Ideally, you would combo this guy, so then it can be played, and then it plays Razzin, because Razzin is played untapped in active
Yeah, because
mode.
it's a blocker, right? This one
the rest of them are played in rest mode.
So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a neat little combo within the deck, you know, doing something nice.
It's really interesting. I do hope that we're going to see more Lacasse and Razzin in tournament pack or future sets, so they can actually combo with more stuff.
I would think, right? I would think.
Because at the moment, you either play Razzin and play Lacasse, or play Lacasse and play Razzin, and then it stops. It would be cool to have, continuation. Even a skillless card. Even a 2-drop 15k skillless.
Or a 2-drop 5k skillless, because I'm assuming their whole thing is
rely
on that 10k to boost up. Yeah, 10k is probably fair for the skillless, right? So then we get to Lord Slug, out of control, big beefy Zena Boy enters the fray. It's a 6-cost, 3 specified green, 0/5 combo power, 25k base, triple strike, X evolve for 2 green on top of a Lord Slug Zena with an energy cost of exactly 4. So that 5-drop SR is even more useless. While this card
it needs to be going on top of a Lord Slug Zeno, so
well, yeah,
the 5-drop is Lord Slug.
I just want to throw a shade at that 5-drop, okay? Right. Let me throw a shade at the 5-drop, Peter. I'm trying.
You will in a moment more.
So when it's in rest mode, your opponent can't attack leader or unison cards. I really like that effect. It's reminiscent of Deadly Defenders. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 green Lord Slug card with an energy cost of 3 from your drop area, so you can get your Bond Boy, then add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball.
I think the better choice would be AOD.
That too, yeah. And then you add
AOD, when played, your opponent ditches a card from hand, and then you can use it to cheaply play more stuff from your hand.
That's true. And then add up to a Dragon Ball, so then you can rinse and repeat the cycle.
Yeah, that's what they do, right?
And you can take the 4-drop boyo.
The Lord Slug Dark Parasite is a 4-drop, 2 specified green, 20,000 power. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, when this card is played, your opponent may choose one of their unison cards and place it in its owner's drop area. If they did not, you and your opponent draw 1 card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and KO them. This is punishing people for playing unisons.
Yep. It's good.
Because if they don't play unison, that means they play lots of battle cards, which means they lose their battle cards. If they do play unison and they don't want to lose the battle cards, they lose the unison, they flat out lose it.
I think this is great for a Gotenks mirror matchup. It's like, okay, who's going to lose their Vegeta unison, or who's going to lose the ball?
Although I think in Gotenks matchup, this would be played, and I think your opponent would just choose both players draw 1 card, because then your opponent wouldn't have battle cards on board until they play their Gotenks.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, Xeno bias, obviously, but
it is quite good. But it requires your opponent to have 3 or more energy.
That's true. A lot of cards in this set do though, have required X.
They're trying to slow it down, but the problem is that they also have decks like Vegex and Gotenks.
Yeah.
In here.
Still in the same isn't really
meta.
Doing much at the moment.
I guess, but
so we have Turles Chaotic Rampage. Oh, look at it! Look at it! Look at it! It's so good. 6
fighting against the ball.
6-drop, 3 specified green, critical double strike, X evolve on top of a Tail Xena with an edge cost of 4. When a card evolves into this card, switch it to active mode, then choose one of your opponent's cards in hand. Wow, I got there in the end. Then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, sends it to the warp, flip up to 2 cards in your opponent's life face up. It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly.
I would actually quite like this in Radded's deck.
Yeah,
because it warp the card from hand, right?
Yeah, they warp it, yeah. And then once per turn, when this card attacks, combo with up to 1 green battle card from your drop area with its skills decayed for the turn. So,
So I guess here you would draw a super combo or anything that has essentially 10k.
Yeah.
But the thing is that this card is also an arrival enabler because it doesn't say mono green.
Right, it doesn't. Yeah, that's a really good point.
You
That's a
can
really good
just
shout.
pull the multicolor card from your drop and arrival.
Oh, look, it's now Arrival! Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, really good shout, actually. And then Turles Dark Parasite, which is the 4-drop Zena. It's a blocker. When
Which
this
is
card,
interesting.
when this card activates blocker or is removed from your opponent, from your battle area by an opponent's skill, your opponent may choose one card in their hand and discard it. If they don't, draw a card. Then flip up to one of your opponent's life face up. It's interesting.
I mean, it's block, right?
Yeah.
The moment you block, it's most likely not going to die. And your opponent either loses a card or you gain a card. Either way, you net advantage.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it. Then you
Four-star ball.
Yeah, you take the balls.
So all the balls have the same. This card
Also,
is
the artwork of this ball is fantastic, and I love it very much.
Dark Dragon Ball in all areas. Activate battle, one of your cards gets plus 5k for the battle. They're both 0 cost. Activate main. If your opponent has 2 or more energy and you choose one of your mono green Turles with cost 3 or 4, so the 1-drop wouldn't work with this, which is...
that's really smart. That's really smart.
You choose... I mean, if you use it on the 3-drop, the 3-drop gives itself plus 5k, right? So this would keep the power. You choose up to 1 green Turles Zeno with energy cost of 4 in your deck or hand, play it on top. Because you play it on top, it keeps the power. So it would be a 25k blocker. Yeah. And then if you evolve at the same turn, it would be a 30k dual attack. No, critical double strike. There we go.
But that's still... Whew.
That's a big one, yeah.
We don't really see many crit doubles anymore.
And then 6-star Dragon Ball Parasitic Tactus. Parasitic. Activate main. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose one of your mono green Lord Slug with energy cost of 3 or 4.
Yay.
Why did they make the 5-drop a 5-drop?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You play the 4-drop Lord Slug Xeno on top of this.
Yeah.
Inactive. It's like, why?
It's like they made that 5-drop and was like, crap, what are we going to actually do with it? I don't know.
I think that 5-drop feels a bit like it was designed for a totally different thing.
Yeah, maybe.
It feels way more like a draft box card.
Yeah, I actually think, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Because draft box games will go to turn 5, 6, 7, and the board wipe is good there.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. So yeah, Peter, Tree of Might, you can have the Tree of Might.
So Tree of Might is the first extra card that stays in the battle area, and it's not a field card. So for starters, it is not it's not affected by any cards with field cards. While in battle area, this card can't be placed in drop areas by your skills, and you reduce the combo cost of all Turles Crusher Core cards in your opponent's hand and battle area by 1.
What? My opponent's hand? What is this sorcery?
Just a reminder, the Turles places the Tree of Might in your opponent's.
So it actually affects you. Yeah,
Yeah. The other thing is that because this is not a field, there can be multiple of those on board. Also, if all of your opponent's energy is mono green, if this card, so again yours, if this card is in your battle area at the start of your main phase, choose one card in your life and flip it face up. So the opponent will be choosing for you if you're playing Turles. If you do, your opponent adds up to 1 fruit of the Tree of Might from the deck to their hand and shuffles their deck. We're going to go into fruit in a moment. So this is the one I was talking about. You can put the fruit at the bottom and your hand, and then your opponent flips a card in life face up, and you add the fruit back. You can only do it a total of 8 times.
Oh, only 8. Only 8, right? Pfft.
Yeah.
Well, no, 8 because it's only flipping face up.
Yeah, because you have no way of flipping your opponent's life face down.
No, I was thinking when you flip it face up for the 8th one, you lose, and I'm like, no, that's Frieza, Scott, ignore that.
That's Frieza. Frieza's life can't be flipped with this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because it's not a mono yellow. Yeah.
Activate main. If you lead a card as Turles Crusher Core, place this card in your opponent's battle area in active mode.
Love it, love it, love it.
Which means that in a mirror match, people are just going to be bouncing them back to each other.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's so weird.
But you can also play this from your hand and then give it to your opponent, so your opponent can have 2 of those to speed up that flipping life face up and finding the fruit of the Tree of Might.
I don't think you run more than 2 in the deck, though. Like,
I don't think you will run more than 1.
I mean,
perfectly honest with you.
I like the idea of
It
doing.
can't be removed besides Xeno Unison at the moment.
I like the idea of having the extra one just to turbo the life thing, but yeah, I agree. Probably in a meta build. In a meta build, you probably wouldn't run more than 1, because you start with it. And then Fruit of the Tree of Might. Oh, I love this card so much. Yeah, they can...
Busted.
let's ban Feet Kamehameha. It's fine. Fruit of the Tree of Might.
Oh wait, you can actually flip your opponent's life face down. I forgot about this.
Oh. What with this?
So it's activate battle for 1 green energy. If your leader card is Turles Crusher Call card, all of your energy is mono green. Fine. You flip 1 face-up card in your opponent's life face down. You choose up to 1 of your one of your leader cards or battle cards, and it gets 20,000 power for the battle.
Yeah, it's Catnip.
If the chosen card's character name includes Turles, it also gains double strike. You can give it to your 4-drop critical.
Yep.
And it's going to be 45 double strike crit.
Yep. Yep.
This is scary.
Combat.
But as a cost, you need to flip 1 face-up card in your opponent's life face down.
Yeah, so it needs to be face up. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There is, but you can do a lot of that.
Yeah, I like this card a lot.
You can actually go ad infinitum with the Fruit of the Tree of Might.
Which is cool. Kill Driver! Activate battle. It's a 1 cost, 1 specified green extra card. If your leader card is Tails Crusher Core, flip up to 1 of your opponent's life face up. Choose up to 1 of your leader or battle cards. It gets 10k power for the battle. Draw a card. Or, if it's your turn...
choose 1.
Yeah.
You either draw a card, or if it's your turn, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards that cost more than they have energy and remove it.
I think that's really good, actually. I really like that. I don't know.
I think it's interesting. The fact that it gives 10k power, or it can be used to just remove something, or replaces itself. I think the biggest use is going to be defensively when it replaces itself.
Yeah, right. It's almost like another IAR in the deck. In fact,
Yeah.
it pretty much is an IAR. Let's be real. If it was 15k power, it would be an infinite attack rare.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. I like it a lot. And you only have to have leader as green. You don't have to have all your energy.
No, if your leader card is a Tails.
Tails Crusher Corp. Sorry, that's what I meant. I was in my head, and I was just talking about green energy. So, Peter, where do we land on green? A very interesting color. Very interesting color.
One thing that's bringing it down for me is Lord Slug.
Okay, that's fair.
I absolutely love the design of Turles.
Yeah, I think we both agree on that.
It's something interesting. They do something very green with the face-up life mechanic. It feels like Turles. At the same time, it also feels like it could be in red, blue, or yellow.
Okay.
You don't have that distinct green feeling of hand control, I guess, which is what majority of green wants to go for.
Yeah, I can kind of get behind that.
It does have the feeling of spamming the board, which green got when Successor was introduced, and then they took away Successor.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair comment. Like, there is the critical aspect, which is red and green's kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I get what you're saying, where it doesn't identify with green in the traditional way. It's kind of doing it's kind of a hodgepodge of like various
It's
green
doing its
from.
own thing, but you know what it really reminds me of?
Okay.
And you're going to laugh.
Okay.
It reminds me of Raditz.
Yeah, I can laugh at that. Because, go on, explain. I want to see where your logic is with this.
Mostly with the leader.
Okay.
So on the front side, you do something that's fairly straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
You add the life, look at the top 5, you add the card. The difference is that you actually have a card advantage here.
Yeah. Unlike Reddit's.
Unlike Reddit's, yes.
Hashtag reboot Reddit's. It'll happen one day.
But the thing is that at the backside, it does something else that if you look at the cards that Raditz was supposed to work with, that activate main of his actually works. but it's just not good for what the rest of the leader does. In here, the rest of the leader does its own thing, but then you have that slap in. You can put a card from your hand at the bottom of the deck to add the fruit of the Tree of Might from your drop to your hand, which is not exactly like the rest of the deck plays.
No, but it's getting the pivotal piece of the deck, right?
But you are searching for that piece. You keep on searching for that. Why give you access to more than 4? You're never going to use more than 4.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Like, if you use this, even on your leader, that's a 35k double strike.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And then you have all the combos on top of that. I just don't see why you need that recursion. That recursion just sparked in my mind. Somehow
I think it's got to be a theme thing.
Build where you can infinitely loop the fruits.
It's a theme thing. Like, you're constantly taking the fruit and eating it, and like, I'm super powerful now. I'm Turles.
The Tree of Might does that, right?
Yeah, so like
it's not that he's going. I'm sorry, I'm going to be very graphic here. But it's not that he's going through his waste to try and find the fruit of the Tree of Might. Is
I guess. But yeah, I mean, if that's your sticking point on the leader, I don't think it's too much of a problem.
I don't think it's a problem because, as you probably know, I absolutely love Radded's leader. It just needs a bit more push, and I think this one is how Radded would feel if it was not so pushed back.
Okay, that's fair. So where do you land on your grade then, Peter?
Before I go into my grade, I just want to say Lord Slug, they did a very green thing, which is hand control, just took it the other way.
Yeah, a lot of people complain. It's like, oh, it's the opposite of what green's meant to be. But it's like, is it?
There are ways.
You can experiment with it. You know?
You can do stuff with it. So it just feels weird, and mostly because they introduced yellow to Lord Slug and then took it away. That's my only qualm.
I think if like there's something that unites yellow and green eventually down the line, which there might be, we don't know yet. Not for this set, obviously, but just in general. Like, because it just seems weird to have those yellow Lord Slug cards. Just seems weird to me.
Yeah. And it's just a couple of them, right?
Yeah. It's like, if there's a way to, like, homogenize Slug, I think maybe there's something here. But, I personally like the idea of it because, like you said, people will get comfy. Oh, it's like, oh, I have loads of cards in my hand now. I can do whatever I want. And then they're like, oh, yeah, crap. Combine that with, like, a big 10.
To surprise you, I'm landing on S-.
S minus? S minus? Yeah, that is a surprise because I'm on A plus. But
I'm on S minus.
I'm going to join you. I'm going to bump it to S minus because I think that's fair.
Because what they did with Lord Slug, ultimately, if we took away the minus comes from the fact that they introduced the yellow.
Yeah, I think
Lord
we're both
Slug
like just like
took
come
it
on.
Away. But if you look at it from the design point of view, they did a hand control in an interesting and a new way. And it's unexpected new way.
Yeah, because people like are proper aggressively against just, oh, well, I can't do anything, my hand's been ripped. This gives you the option, but it makes you think about what you're doing. I really like that. It's a different
version of hand control that was not expected, and that's where my S grades usually come from. If something is not expected, but still keeps on theme.
And that tells permanent, for example, choosing which life your opponent takes. Yeah, I agree. I am fully with you on that.
It introduces a totally different amount of control, and then Radded can give Turles critical, so that becomes even more powerful.
My
really
main
don't want that leader to hit.
My main hang-up was just that 5-drop Slug. Like, that's why I couldn't give it a S. But if we're going to give it an S minus, I think I can meet you there and give it an S minus. I think I can wholeheartedly agree with that. Plus, you know,
I might be talking a bit of shit here. We have filler super rare in form of that 5-drop Lord Slug, which, let's be honest, is not going to be played.
I don't think it is.
I mean, we're going to include it in our decks for untapped potential.
Of course. I mean, but that's the spirit of untapped potential.
That's how we do untapped potential. Yeah. We just jam it in with all the new cards and see how they actually are meant to be played.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our grades, guys. So, possibly surprising, but then again, if you kind of know us, then it's not too surprising, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Green's interesting for set 12. Will it have a meta future? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm excited to see where they go with it. I think that's the key thing here.
I think a lot depends. Both of those decks have a good potential to be strong, depending on the tournament promos.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair assessment. So yeah, we've been London Players Guild. I've been Scott7. Peter, you have been Peter, presumably.
I think today I'm Peter. I need to check my calendar.
Well, it could be another day of the week. Wait, what day of the week is it? It's Friday. That's what day it is. So please subscribe to the channel, like the like button. Let us know in the comments below what you would give the green cards grades, or like any of the other colours. We've got the playlist. Go and check it out. Let us know what you think of those grades. And yeah.
I think the next grade is going to be after Christmas, unless they're going to actually spoil everything before Thursday.
Hopefully, I don't know, but yeah, you won't be seeing graded until after Christmas. The final, hopefully before New Year, but it won't be before Christmas. That's a given. It won't be before Christmas. Yeah, so we'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.